doing and why.
Okay, great. Great. I will talk about the paper then. Okay, just so I know who's here, would you all mind going around the table and telling me your name and what you teach and where? Start on either end.
My name is Allison Quinn. I am the librarian at our high school, and I'm also serving as our district librarian.
Okay, great.
Hi, I'm Carol Kibido. I'm the high school social studies teacher.
Thank you, Carol. And I know who the next guy is.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Healy. I teach girls athletics. I coach sports there at the junior high and also teach girls PE.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Steve. I'm Diane Dotson. I'm an 8th grade counselor at Vidor Junior High School.
Thank you, Diane.
Hi, I'm Shanna Mackey. I serve as ESL for the district.
Great.
Hi, I'm Melissa Price. I teach special education at the junior high.
Oh, special education teacher. I admire you guys so much.
Hi, I'm Catherine Fontana. I'm an educational diagnostician at the junior high.
I'm sorry, I missed your first name.
That's okay, Catherine Fontana.
Okay, thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
Hi, Marlene Wright. I teach math at the middle school.
Great, good to have you. Okay, ladies. We're going to go. I have a PowerPoint here that has the questions on it, which is good for us because it's so hard to hear me. The one that I asked you, well, let's see. We'll go to the PowerPoint. Okay, just a second. Okay, here we go. Okay, I, of course, appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. You'll get a summary of what we've done here in your district about 6 weeks from now, as soon as I can get it written up. Here's some ground rules. Of course, be honest and speak from your personal experience, what you know about. Try not to guess too much, okay? Okay. And then just as we maintain confidentiality on this side of the computer, we want you to do the same on your side. And then finally, one that's really important to me is whenever anyone speaks, please give your name or your position so that I can keep up with who's talking and everybody's participating. Okay? Somebody says okay.
Okay.
Way to go. I like this one already. You can see our assurances here. This was all confidential. There'll be no way to associate any of you individually with our work. I have set my timer for 1 hour, and when that timer dings, we'll be done. And I want everybody to take the opportunity to participate. Okay?
Okay.
There we go. All right, let's begin. Here's the first question. It has to do with the purposes of professional development. And I'd like to take each one of these in turn. First of all, speak for yourself. What for you individually is the purpose of staff development in your school and your district? For you.
This is Catherine Fontana. I'll speak from the diagnostician point of view. We do yearly training on current assessments and how to correctly assess a student and recommend them for assistance, even if they're in special ed or not. We also have some law conferences. So as far as my field is concerned, that's a big focus that we do on a yearly basis.
Okay.
This is Marlene Wright from the middle school. I would say it's mostly centered around student learning, how to improve their learning.
Okay.
I agree. I'm Pam Packard. I teach at the junior high, and my staff development sometimes involves gifted and talented training, or also, as Marlene said, student learning.
All right. How long?
Say that again.
Say it again. Yeah.
How long have you been teaching?
Okay, this is my 9th year that I've taught.
Okay. Someone else?
I would just say, I'm Allison Quinn, librarian.
Okay.
As an individual, I think in addition to what they have said, the staff development for me is important to help me learn the newest cutting edge things involved in my field so that I can be a better educator.
Great.
I'm Diane Dotson, a counselor at Vidor Junior High School. I have 38 years of experience. I feel like from a counselor standpoint that the staff development that we've been able to have concerning student needs outside of the academic area, whether it be an abuse, about child abuse or any of the needs or anything disadvantaged or anything like that, it's been a really good thing for our district to have. It's been very helpful to me as a counselor to stay up on any of the latest trends and everything like that too. But I think also it has brought a lot of information to our teachers who may not be aware of some of the current laws or some of the requirements and everything to try to help our students in other areas besides just an academic area.
Okay. Go ahead.
Me? Okay, well, I was just going to say I'm Carol Thibodeau, social studies teacher at the high school, and teaching a content subject that is tested. For me, I think professional development a lot of times is focused on academic content, especially at the high school level. We have a new standardized test that's come into play, and so we have new TEKs that are rolled out in all the different content areas, year to year, so in the last several years. So I think a lot of times our professional development, I recently went to something that was really content specific to better myself so I can better help the kids.
Right. Okay.
I'm Shanna Mackey. I represent ESL for the district. I'm addressing individually. I also do individual assessments for ESL students to enter and exit the program. In addition to that, I also attend professional development to stay on top of the current guidelines for state and federal, for the state and federal guidelines for our district.
Okay. We'll get into those state and federals pretty soon. Anyone else?
I'm Priscilla Healy, athletic coach at the junior high. I have a different perspective. I am a first-year teacher, and to me, the professional development was extremely important personally because it helped me feel much more prepared, confident, ready to tackle on my new job and assignment with much more confidence and
helped me get feedback from my fellow peers and teachers and people that I could rely on. I could hear the information that I needed, and I could also get really good feedback from those teachers in our small workshop and focus groups that we had, so I could feel prepared and adequately, ready to tackle on my first big assignment this year.
So, in that way, there's a collaborative purpose.
That's correct.
Good, thank you. Anyone else?
Can I say one more thing? I'm sorry, Pam Packard. Oh, can you say it again? Okay. I'm Pam Packard. Once again, I teach at the junior high, 7th grade. A lot of my staff development also has been dealing with technology, new technologies that we've had, such as our Promethean board or, ways that we can learn to further our classroom instruction with that. And that's been very helpful for me.
Okay. Now, we've been talking a lot about what professional development experiences you have had that you profited from. Would you say that those things have similar purposes at the campus and district level?
Yes, I would say yes.
So that the things you all have discussed so far have common purposes at these other levels?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Anybody want to add to that?
I'm Diane Dotson, counselor at the junior high. Continuing on talking about the content areas, and you asking about district-wide, most of the times in our district when we're doing different professional developments, for example, if they were working on the test for high school social studies on another campus at another grade level, we may be working on that type of staff development there that would pertain to our grade levels or subject areas or whatever the content happens to be. So a lot of times, everyone in the district may be doing the same type of thing, but it has to be pertinent to what they're teaching or the subject area.
Yeah.
So it's often district-wide.
Okay. Any others?
I would also say that often our district-wide training is important for vertically aligning our curriculum so that it builds each year and our children continue to learn and there's not too much repetition or missing areas.
Okay. Others? Okay. Now we have a question about required professional development. Of all the things that you all have described, what would you say was required? And requirements are a little more formal.
We have Allison Quinn, librarian. We have a certain number of days of staff development that are required by the state. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. So the state requires a certain number of days, but you decide on the content.
The
district decides.
Right, the district. Okay. Does the district require anything specific?
I'm Catherine Fontana, diagnosis, I do know that every campus, I'm pretty sure this requires a review of special education, modifications, implementing that in your classroom, your role with those students, confidentiality, FERPA, HIPAA, all that stuff that goes with that. I do know that every school campus does address that yearly. So
Okay.
it's a requirement, but it is addressed.
Okay, but no specific district-wide areas.
Diane Dodson, counselor, junior high. There are times that there may be some new technology that has been developed in the district, and often Ms. Cash over there does the training for the district or for our professional development, our staff development. And so a lot of times when we have new technology in there, that's a part of it also that we're required to go to, because first of all, we need to know how to do it. So, and it is required.
Okay. Okay.
Shanna Mackey, ESL. I can tell you that in the district, all the teachers that are ESL certified or people that are going to participate in the LPAC are required to have their annual training for that.
Is that a district or state requirement?
It is a state requirement and it is our district requirement.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Others?
Yes. Lynn Burnside, Oak Forest, and I teach kindergarten. I came in a little bit late, but I know that we're required for GT every year. We have 6 hours. That is district/state. I think those are both required by the state and by the district.
Okay. So it's required by the state and supported by the district.
I believe that's correct.
Okay. Others?
Allison Quinn, librarian. The only other thing specifically that I can think of that is district required, not necessarily state, perhaps, is if our district has a focus of any type that they would like us all to be trained on and for us all to focus on throughout the year. Classroom management, perhaps, or what are some other things? Intervention strategies, yes.
Yeah, safety for better.
Safety issues, just things that the district thinks we need extra training of. Definitely.
Okay. Are those kind of things required of everyone?
Sometimes.
Example?
Yes, we had bullying training.
Okay.
Bullying. Yes. We also did a research training not too long ago and implemented a district-wide research model, the Big Six plan. Certain things like that would be district-wide.
All right.
Shanna Mackey, ESL. I think to address what you just asked, sometimes the training is not required of everyone because it is content specific, so it may vary within the district depending on the teacher's content area.
But it would be required, say, for all the math teachers.
Right.
Okay. All right. Any others? All righty. Of all these requirements you've been discussing, who establishes these requirements?
Who establishes requirements?
besides Johnny?
We have three Mr. Ross.
Shannon Mackey, ESL. I think that really answers that. State and federal requirements are a priority, that we want to make sure that we're meeting those requirements.
Okay. What about district?
Catherine Fontana and Dinah Fisher. I know the administrators from each campus, based on their content areas that they have need of, would require different trainings for that area, those areas.
How do they make those decisions?
Allison Quinn. I would say site-based, district site-based committee would perhaps suggest ideas for staff development, or just needs, things that should come up that demonstrates a need for our entire district.
Okay.
Special ed. There's also, we've completed surveys throughout and, identified where there might be needs or things that have worked, things that didn't.
Okay. Is there a role for standardized tests in these decisions?
Are you saying that do standardized testing play a part in the decisions of the staff development?
Right.
Yes. I think yes.
It would play a role in everything.
Okay. Anything else? All righty. Are there any specific requirements for your beginning teachers?
This is Carol Thibodeau, social studies at the high school. I'm not a new teacher, but I'm a new teacher to this district this year. And I was required here for 2.5 additional days of professional development when the school year began. So yeah, there's definitely requirements. And I think if you're a new teacher, maybe you can speak to that. I think there might even be more days if you're brand new to, I don't know if you're brand new to teaching or if it's just the same. But I know for me, even though I've been teaching, Vidor required me to go through several extra days of professional development.
I would say so too. And I also had, Priscilla Healy, girls PE. As a new teacher, I know that I had walkthroughs frequently, met with my principal, had different, my iTeach certification program, for me personally, they came out quarterly to observe my classroom. I don't know how that is for everyone, but for me, I felt like I had to bring my A game every day. You never know who's going to be there. Not every teacher should do that. We hope we all do that. I felt like I was having development every day.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that opportunity to learn. That's the only way I am going to learn, is to get suggestions from other people, to get feedback, and to be humble so we can learn the best way to reach our students.
So besides observation and coaching, are there any specific, courses or programs required for new teachers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have to attend one specific to the coaching staff, which actually, to get prepared for next year, I'm already signed up with our PE department. We'll be attending specific activities, outdoor activities, and things to help better our program. I hadn't signed on board last year at the time, but I understand they did tennis workshops and clinics, and this year we're doing outdoor activities with our particular department.
Okay.
So yes, that is the answer to your question.
Are there others that you know of?
Other what? Other individual development?
Yes.
I attended 3 or 4 days, but I was with all of the other people at my school. I don't know if those were additional to what they were doing, but yes, I had to attend required development. I don't know if it was in service or development. I had to attend several days of educational training. I don't know what the title of that was. I was just trying to be where I was supposed to be, but I understand it was educational instruction.
What was that targeted at new teachers?
That particular class was not, no.
Okay.
But PDOS, yes, I did that. Yes, PDOS. The PDOS was, yes.
The what was?
Our professional development appraisal system, which is what's used to appraise us by our, this is Carol Thibodeau, Social Studies High School. So if you're a new teacher coming into a brand new teacher, I'm guessing the district will send you to PDOS training, which is the acronym, so that you can understand how the appraisal system works. It's a statewide appraisal system.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Any others?
I know, this is Pam Packard, 7th grade English. I know that we have a mentoring system in our school district. And when we have new teachers, you know, like I've been a mentor for a few teachers before. I don't know if that's what you're asking or not, but
Right.
that came to mind.
That I can, Priscilla Healy, Girls Athletics. Yes, I would agree with that. And that mentor program has been extremely helpful for me personally.
Good.
Like learning how to do grades, just the little things that you underestimate the importance and the value of. Inputting grades properly, putting all the correct teeps in, making sure you're covering everything in a timely manner, trying to not feel overwhelmed but still get the job done. All of those things, and my mentor helped out tremendously.
The things that help each day go smoothly.
That's correct.
Okay. Any others?
We're also required to do a technology training each year, a survey, I guess it would be a STAR test, an online test each year to check our technology proficiency. I'm not sure if there is more to it for new teachers or not, but it's something that every teacher is required to do each year.
Ah, okay. Any more? All right. The next question. Does your district have any major initiatives that require professional development for some or all teachers?
That's what I was thinking. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think most of our district, at least through the G, Marlene Rice Middle School, right now we're pushing on Kagan, which is a teaching style, and I believe up through the junior high, I'm not so sure.
At the high school as well.
High school too.
Co-operative learning.
We're all being trained on our campuses, and some of us are going off to training to be able to come back to train others.
I'm sorry. What was the name of that initiative?
Kagan, Kagan. Cooperative learning, the teaching style, learning style.
Okay. I'm making a note. All right. Any others? All righty. This has to do, as you see, with how the decisions about professional development are made. How do you individually make decisions about your own development, if at all?
This is Pam Packard, 7th grade English. If I notice that there's a professional development class on, let's say, teaching writing for the STAR test or something like that, then that will be my initiative to go sign up for something like that, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. So you have the leeway to choose things specifically for you.
Yes. Now, it doesn't always mean they'll get approved, but usually they are. So we get to choose what kind of things that we think that would benefit our classes.
Okay.
Diane Dotson, counselor, junior high. But not always do those things that you choose as an individual take the place of what the district might be requiring also. Sometimes it may replace one or something, but not always. A lot of times it's just additional professional development that you feel like that you would be better served if you attended that.
Okay. A side question. Do the district or campus priorities fill up all of the professional development days?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to do something individually, it has to take the place of campus or district.
No,
not necessarily.
In addition.
It's an addition to.
One person, please.
Arlene Wright, middle school, in addition to. We have a required, and then in addition, if we want to go with specific professional development, we can request that, and it sometimes is approved.
Okay.
Sometimes not.
All right. How do your individual schools identify professional development needs?
Lynn Burnside Kindergarten. Again, we have surveys not only district-wide but on our campus. Our principal will meet with grade levels to address any specific needs that we may have. And as she said, sometimes in addition to what is provided, it may be approved. I know I've done some on my own that I've just paid for. We used to have a co-op with our Region 5, and we no longer do that. But I've done some things online just for myself. But our principal really strives to make sure that if we need it, we're able to access.
Okay. Others?
Catherine Fontana, diagnosis. I think it just depends on your needs for that population you're having that year as well. I mean, you have different factors. You have at-risk kids, special education students, ESL students, and also your teach changing, your state assessment, what's coming up. That's where you address your needs on basically what the upcoming year is going to bring.
Okay. How about at the district level?
Diane Dodson, junior high. I do believe that from your individual to the needs of your campus to what is district-wide is just a continuum. Sometimes one campus may find something that they were interested in or might really work, and it spreads until it becomes something possibly that the whole district is interested in, or feels like that we all need to be exposed to or have the information for that. So I think it just, it grows from one to the other.
Interesting. Okay. Others?
Shanna Mackey, ESL, and maybe this is the right time to address this. Individual and campus and district needs. With our ESL, we're in a shared services agreement with Region 5, and I generally log on and just keep kind of a check of what types of different workshops that are offered, whether it be a ESL coordinator, whether it be state or whether it be federal, or whether it just be best practices for ESL students. And that helps me determine whether it's individual or for the district, if I need to attend those.
Gotcha. Anyone else? Okay. To your knowledge, how is staff development monitored or tracked?
I'm Pam Packard, 7th grade English. I know that when I participate in a professional development, I am supposed to log on to Eduphoria, and sometimes my certificate is there. Or once I take a survey through Region 5, they will send back the certificate, and it appears on my own folder on Eduphoria. Is that right? Portfolio. Okay.
Carol Pivoto, social studies at the high school. I know we use for our PDOS appraisal system, which is our appraisal system through the state of Texas. We use software called Eduphoria, and also when you submit your self-report, you're asked to include in your, which is something you submit to your campus administrator. You are asked to include your professional development in that self-report. Is that correct?
Okay. Other things you can think of? All righty. Do any incentives exist for participation?
We get Jonah.
What do they say? Feed the teachers so they don't eat the kids? But anything else?
I think it just provides a comfort level to some degree for teachers, for just all different staff members, that whatever the new learning style, the new product, the new assessment, you have a comfort level to proceed with that. So it is an intrinsic incentive, but it's an incentive that you feel successful.
So you think there are some intrinsic rewards?
Yes. And donuts.
And chocolate.
And chocolate.
Allison Quinn, librarian. I also think that there are professional rewards. As you learn more and progress in your career, it all goes hand in hand. Sometimes we get chocolate.
Okay.
Participation, which is the incentive chocolate.
And sometimes it's just fun. Okay. Now, this is the other side of that coin. Are there any sanctions in your district for non-participation?
Yes, it's Allison Quinn. If you do not participate in the required days, you will be docked. You lose your pay.
My goodness.
You do not get paid extra for having staff development ever. But if you do not do it, you will lose pay. But in addition to that, I would think you could probably lose your teacher certification from the state, because it is required by the state as well.
So the state requires a certain number of days or hours for recertification?
Carol Thibodeau, Social Studies High School, I believe it's 300 hours every 5 years is required by the state.
Okay.
I'm grandfathered here. So it's 150 for teachers.
Counselors and administrators, it's more.
Okay. Yeah, and it depends on what, different, when you've got your certification, when you got it determines what kind of professional development requirements the state has for you. So
Okay. Anything else?
Lynn Garnside, kindergarten. If you fail to participate on the district schedule, then you are given an opportunity to attend at your own expense another day as a makeup day for that.
Okay.
So it's not like it's, if you're ill or have an emergency and you cannot attend. Provisions are made. You're not out on strike one.
Sure.
You have an opportunity to make that up.
Okay. Anybody think of anything else? Okay. Here's one I really enjoy. What are your most effective forms of staff development?
Lynn Garnside, kindergarten. The most effective forms of professional development are those that are derived from teacher needs, our input. We've talked often, and I think we're doing a really good job of not hiring outside speakers and things like that, due to our budget deficit, that we're trying to utilize people within our district with expertise to present these professional development goals.
Okay. Others?
Shanna Mackey, ESL, I think kind of a different way to address that is, for me, face-to-face professional development, somewhat interactive, not jumping up and down and running around the room, but small cooperative groups, things like that are most effective, is what I find.
Okay. Others?
Allison Quinn, librarian. To me, the most effective, I agree with Mr. Mackey, but also I would say it's more effective if it actually pertains to something I do. My students and my teaching. If it's outside the realm of anything that I do, it can be boring.
Do you have very many of those?
Well, I've been teaching a long time, and I've had some, but I think our district tries very hard, especially in the last few years. We've been trying very hard to make it applicable to what we actually do. And I really love the content-specific types of staff development. They are more fun to me anyway, but I know not everything can be content-specific. So.
Okay. Have you all explored job in staff development?
A job is
Repeat that, please.
The question, please?
Job embedded.
job embedded.
Can you give us an example of what you're referring to?
Yeah, something that grows out of a group of teachers collaborating and wanting to learn something together that they are all working on.
Yeah.
I think we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jennifer Richards, elementary teacher. Just recently, I've been working with our technology guru and our librarian on programs that, just so we can put more technology in our classrooms. We've made incredible gains in our school with implementing different apps on the iPad, and I teach second grade, and they are very quick to learn what we've been teaching them. And so I would say that our collaboration has produced results that would definitely be a really good way to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but form some sort of training on technology in the classroom. Is that what you meant?
Great.
Okay.
Okay. Others?
Priscilla Healy, girls PE. I would just, in conjunction with what Jennifer just mentioned, I think the athletics and PE department is the last one, or it seems like we're one of the later ones to the technology game because we're so hands-on in terms of doing sports outside, and our job is important, and we have many kids to manage, and we want to stay up with technology just as much as everyone else does. And we are on our way to doing that. As a staff, we have met with, I met with Jana Cash about what we could do to make this transition smooth going into next year, what apps we could teach and propose to our students, how we can incorporate technology when we're not really, when they don't have devices really out on the court or outside, but what can we do to also make PE and athletics up to date with current technology. And we have some great ideas from the Fitbit to MyFitnessPal to ways for the kids to monitor their eating habits and all kinds of things like that. So we're trying not to be left out of the technology game, but that does require us to be on our toes and to try to meet with appropriate people to help us make that transition.
Yeah. Especially with the obesity plague.
Well, and sometimes people aren't jotting down what they're eating and things like that on their notepad anymore, but we can help them give out chocolate like we are here.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? All right. The final required question has to do with your perception of how much professional development is required. Too much? Just right? Or too little? And why?
Lynn Burnside. I've been teaching for a very long time. A lot of times, if it's not applicable to me, I do resent having to sit in a meeting for hours when I could be doing things in my classroom to better prepare for my school year. And sometimes there's kind of a there's restraints on your time working, actually preparing for your students for the school year. I feel like some of them are too lengthy, and sometimes if they're not real interesting, to everyone, then like I said, I'm going to use the word resent because I do. I really like my ducks in a row before school starts, and I kind of feel time constrained. when I don't think that it's a worthwhile experience.
Okay.
So I would say we err a little bit on too many.
All right. Others?
Allison Quinn, librarian. I think our state requires so many professional development days, and they also add in teacher work days. And probably we could do with more teacher work days. Teachers need that time to just get in there and work to prepare. But I think our district does the best they can, I really do, with trying to, the days that are required, with trying to make them help us be better and give us the things that we need.
Okay.
We have to follow those many days, you know, and so teachers are absolutely allowed to come up and work extra days. You just don't get paid for that.
Okay. Others?
I'm Jennifer Richards, elementary. Last year they implemented balanced literacy for elementary, and our general complaint was it was another new thing that we had to incorporate. So we wanted more staff development for it, and they absolutely met our needs with that. We had several days during the school year where all the reading teachers got to go to several hands-on workshops where Region 5 came to our schools, so we didn't have to travel that far. And so I feel like our needs were met last year for sure. This past school year, probably been the best so far.
Right. Others? Okay. Here's an additional question. Strengths of PD in your district.
I think, this is Pam Packer, 7th grade ELA. I think that our district does a great job of meeting the needs of what the teachers kind of need for their individual classes. I feel very fulfilled on my staff development that I've had to have.
All right.
Go ahead. Okay. Marlene Rice, middle school. I feel the same way. I feel like anything I wanted to go to during the school year, if the budget allowed it, it was always a yes. I think the only time I wasn't was there was a sub issue and they couldn't send my whole department, so we just picked a few to go. But that was, they wanted us to do what we felt we needed.
Good. Others? Okay. We all know that there is good, effective professional development. And either we have specific standards for that professional development or expectations. How does your district assure that?
I think it goes back to what Mr. Richards, is that right, was saying that they felt like they expressed to their administrators that they needed additional training. So to ensure that they felt comfortable and effective in this manner to teach, they requested additional training and they were able to run with it, and it's the end result of feeling successful in that environment.
Right.
So as far as just measuring, just requesting it and being able to attend those, that's ensuring additional training and being positive results.
Okay. Anything?
Counselor. I believe in the last few years our district has really strived to try to find professional development that is, I hate to say tried and true, but not just a fly-by-night. That they know that it will work. It's worked other places. They feel like it can only help in our district. And I think it's a case of where they do look for more high-quality people to come in. People that have actually been in the trenches maybe and have actually tried it and done it and know what they're talking about. Not just somebody getting what they're talking about, you know, and they've never done it.
Like practice rather than just theory.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think they've done a good job in the last few years on that.
Okay. Others?
Allison Quinn, I agree with that, and I think that if we request something that we feel we need, and we don't have a suggested place to get that training, I feel like the district works hard to find and research it to find the right person or the right workshop to go to, and it's not just you're not just thrown out there. I think they work hard to try to find what we need, and I think they treat us as professionals. They understand we're in the trenches, and if we ask for something, I do feel like they work hard to get us the best training we need.
Right. I would like, our time is almost up. I want to try to get in one more question if you have time.
Okay.
What would you change about your professional? Does Johnny need to leave?
I don't mind.
I think it would be fun to, and I know this, you know, it costs money, but it would be fun to do training at different places, maybe, where we're not always right here.
Oh.
That would be nice.
I'm thinking Las Vegas or something.
She's thinking back, Steve, for about 10 years we had millions of dollars spent on that. And a lot of them travel to a lot of wonderful places for it. So, and we'd all like to relive that.
I think I saw that one coming. Other things?
Catherine Fontana Diane, I feel like sometimes, like, I go to I have the privilege of going to law conferences every year affected by special education and different hearing information, what the schools have faced. And a lot of teachers do not see that side of it because they're not always affected with that kind of information. And that would, to me, that would be neat to share with them. They're in Austin, so long ago. But it would be, at least for them to have knowledge and exposure to those cases and that information.
Okay, great. I'm back now. Any other things you'd like to see different?
Allison Quinn again. One other thing that I really would like to see is that we were able to go to more of the state conferences in our area, and that is expensive as well, but that's where, especially if you're in more specialized areas like libraries, we don't get a lot of regional training. We get it through our state conferences, and that's about it. So we really need more of that, and I think probably some of you that are in like ESL and all, I'm not in counseling, I'm not sure if you get a lot on the local level. Also, in technology, there are some great conferences there that I think everybody would benefit from. But even if we could just take turns and do it where we're not all going every year, I think it would be very beneficial.
Right. Well, there goes my alarm. So I would like to thank you guys for your time and your effort here. This has been a very good focus group. You and your district will get a summary report in about 6 weeks. And once again, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Johnny, if you got a minute, I'd like to speak to you once everyone's gone.
Okay, that's fine. Do you want to call me?
Yeah, why don't I just call you?
Okay, that'll be fine.
Thanks, Jana.
All righty.
Thank you, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Steve, I have sent Johnny a link that I'm going to get him to forward to you about the audio, and maybe you can work on that.
I
You know,
appreciate
maybe
it.
for your next ones.
Great, I appreciate it.
Okay. All
Thanks
right,
so
no
much,
problem.
Jana.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.